St. Michael Albertville High School for the Section 8 4A Boys Basketball Championship. The top two seeds have advanced to the final. They have identical records. Number 2 seed Buffalo and number 1 seed Maple Grove. Hi, I'm Jay Wilcox along with Greg Miller, the former Armstrong coach, and these teams have had pretty similar seasons. Greg, they met once during the year with Buffalo winning a close one over Maple Grove. But right now they're playing with a lot of the same guys who faced off in last year's section championship.
Yeah, it should be a really fun game. I expect this game to go down to the wire. Two very evenly matched teams. They play similar styles. They're both perimeter orientated. One X factor could be that Bauman for Buffalo is a big inside scorer, and that's something Maple Grove is going to have to contend with. They don't really have that. Maple Grove depends more on perimeter play. And so that's going to be an interesting matchup to see how they defend Bauman and can they keep him off the boards.
Both teams coming into this one with nice victories in this section, and obviously they've kind of looked at each other as maybe a team that they might face, and obviously we said played each other a year ago too, so there's some familiarity, and I think you always say to yourself, how much do we want to tinker with things, or do we just go out there and play our best and see if it works out?
Well, knowing both of these coaches and programs pretty well, they don't change much. They are solid, they do what they do, and they do it well, and they just get better at it. So I don't expect any trickeration or anything like that. Buffalo runs their motion offense, and Maple Grove runs a couple offenses. One includes ball screens, and one that's more of just kind of a motion thing. And then defensively, they both kind of pack it in, but they both have shooters on both teams. So they're going to have to extend out a little bit to guard those shooters. And then it's going to be a matter of can somebody get to the rim or not when you do that.
Let's talk about key players to look at in today's game. Starting with Buffalo, we know Matthew Willer can score, but we are going to talk about Aiden Bauman. The one thing Maple Grove maybe doesn't have as much as they've had in the past is strength and size inside, so Bauman could present a handful for them.
Yeah, former Coach Gaida, who coached here at Buffalo for a long time, told me he's the best rebounder he's seen in a long time in high school. And he's really grown into his body and become more coordinated and really can jump out of the gym. And so he's going to be very tough to handle. He also scores around the bucket. So if he gets in some foul trouble, I think that's going to hurt Buffalo. But at the same time, if he has a good game, I mean, that might put Buffalo over the top.
And for Maple Grove, Buffalo definitely is most concerned about their guards, and that kind of starts with Jared Rainey. He'll have the ball in his hands a lot.
Yeah, Jared's been playing for 3 years now. He's very crafty. He can get to the rim. He doesn't shoot the three a lot, but he seems to hit big ones when they need them. And so, yeah, Jared is a great leader. They're going to try to pressure him a little bit, I think, but he's going to be going against a freshman point guard who's a good, talented player, but I think the senior right there probably win that matchup, which kind of neutralizes the big man on the other side.
All right, should be a great game here. The winner goes to the state tournament. Maple Grove looking to make it 4 in a row. It's the Bison and the Crimson coming up next here on CCX.
CCX Media is the first place you go for local news and sports. But did you know you can sign up for those stories to go straight to your inbox on our website? Simply go to ccxmedia.org. Click on the subscribe button, and from there choose which notifications you want to receive. Then we'll send your favorite CCX Media news, sports, and city events straight to your inbox. Sign up now at ccxmedia.org.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for information on how to provide even better care for the person who wants to care of you.
Let me tell you about the toughest guy on earth. He has the crazy strength to lift the man that raised him up without even flinching. This guy, this warrior, will always be by his father's side, even if his dad will hardly remember. If this guy isn't the toughest guy on the planet, then I don't know who is. Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
The gym is filled up in a hurry here at St. Michael Albertville. Tons of Buffalo purple and white fans across the way here, and a lot of Maple Grove people piling in as well now, and also some other just general basketball fans. Let's take a look at how these teams got to this point. We said the top 2 seeds advancing to the final this year, which doesn't always happen. Buffalo win rather easily over Elk River, then a 13-point victory over the number 3 seed Moorhead. And Maple Grove rolled over St. Cloud Tech in a 17-point victory over St. Michael Albertville. Nick Schroeder, the Crimson head coach, said, it feels like the best 2 teams season long got the top 2 seeds and have advanced to this final for this rematch here in the 2019 section championship. Let's take a look at the starting lineup, starting with Buffalo for Coach Josh Ortman. 4 of these 5 guys started in this game a year ago as well. That includes Brandon Montz, Matthew Willert, Aiden Bauman, and Tony Dahl. The newcomer is the talented young freshman guard Antonio Blewett, the 5th starter for Buffalo. And for Maple Grove, they had 2 returning starters and 1 key reserve from that section final last year. Nate Adams, Jared Rainey were the starters in that game last year. Kyle Dreyer came off the bench. And then Sean Bergstrom and Caden Vetcher in the lineup for Nick Schroeder, as well as got 3 seniors, a junior and a sophomore in the starting lineup for the Crimson. As you get a look there at Josh Ortman, who was on the state championship team for Buffalo in 2007. I'm sorry to have to bring it up, Greg. They beat the Armstrong Falcons, your team, that year in the championship.
Yes, they did. I didn't know you guys were going to bring it up right away. Wow. But Ortman, he was a heck of a player, and he's been doing a good job. He took over for Nick Gaida, who was the longtime coach. And one thing I see about Buffalo here is the fans are hungry. They want to, they got back a couple years ago, I know, and they want to live that dream again. The guys that are on this team, they don't remember it. They're only 5 years old at the time, 4 or 5, but it's in Buffalo tradition that they've won a state tournament, and they've been real solid ever since that time. They've actually had some years that weren't great in that period, but they built it back up here now, so it's nice to see.
Well, they had a couple of runner-up finishes, but those were about 100 years ago.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Legitimately, I
forgot about those.
They've been to 11 state tournaments, and quite a few of them were in the early days of the state tournament, so they've been around a long time. Bauman will jump it up here against Bergstrom as we get set to begin tonight's Section 8 championship. Bauman controlling the tip. Bison get first possession. Blewett. They look inside, but then elect not to go there.
This is the traditional offense that they run. They run a lot of screens.
Here's Willert from the corner, no good, but Bauman rips that rebound out of there. Oh, it's going to be a tie-up. Held ball will go to Maple Grove.
And Willert will take some shots that most coaches will think are ill-advised, but he can get really hot. He takes those shots, and he makes one of them, and all of a sudden he's made 3 or 4. So you got to kind of live with that as a coach when you got a guy that's that talented. I guess he's getting recruited by Division I's already.
He topped 35 points in the regular season meeting against Maple Grove. Nick Schroeder, though, kind of said, we know he's going to get his points. We just can't let them beat us up inside. There's Jared Rainey for an early 3.
And that's the thing with Jared. You back off him, he will make you pay. He doesn't seek it out.
And that's going to be a push. Bauman was posting up, and Bergstrom kind of extended both arms into the lower back, so a foul call against Maple Grove inside.
I think that, you're going to see about 2 or 3 guys from Maple Grove guard Bauman, because they're probably going to get in foul trouble, and they're undersized. There's a couple of bigs off the bench that Maple Grove can bring in, too.
Dahl will turn and shoot it up, and he hits a 2-pointer for Buffalo as they get their first basket of the game, and a 3-2 lead here for Maple Grove.
He was 1 foot inside the 3-point line, usually not a shot that you want, but he's feeling it, and he's feeling confident to start the game.
And another 3 for the Crimson as Kyle Dreyer goes from long distance with that one.
And Maple Grove's guys can all shoot it. They spread the floor, and they make you come out and get him. Can't back off Dreyer.
Bauman at the edge of the lane, ball jabbed free. Dahl's going to let another one fly. This one's in and out.
I think they got away with a push there on that. I was looking to see if the box out was good, and Maple Grove got a little lucky there. He'll shoot it from deep from that NBA range.
Boy, Adams was really far out if he had let that one
I've
fly.
seen him do it. He made 7 threes against our team last year, and some of them were from way out there. Wow.
Dreyer shooting up another long one, no good. Rebound and grabbed by Motts.
I mean, long threes happen a lot in the tournament. You got so much adrenaline going.
And Motts will knock down the three for Buffalo, and they're within 6-5. Boy, 3 of the first 4 baskets in this game have been threes.
I like how they're just coming out aggressive. Both teams, no fear. It's going to be an entertaining game.
This time a drive into the middle, and Adams, a nice little pull up there.
Adams is going to draw attention. People are going to be on him tight. He's been working on that. I've seen him play a couple times this year, and he's really worked on that part of his game, getting to the bucket.
Looked like Coach Ortman thought there was an illegal screen that helped free him up there. He's in the official's ear a little bit. Here's Dahl going to the hoop, no good, but draws the foul. I think it'll be on Betcher.
Yeah, Dahl's one of those tweener guys, and he's a glue guy. He's physical, as you can see. Just a crafty player. Played a lot of basketball. I've seen him growing up through the years and traveling basketball, and his parents are big basketball people. Actually, I think originally from the Armstrong area. And so he's a guy who kind of makes them go. He's got a lot of maturity to him and a lot of confidence.
And Greg, you got to like, I mean, his look would have fit in the late 70s,
Hey,
too,
my
right?
hair looked just like that, man. Feathered. I had more of a mullet, though. I let my ears show a little bit.
Second free throw spins out.
I can work with him on that if he needs some help.
Rainey's pass flipped away, an unforced turnover there, a careless one by the Crimson. So Buffalo will get it back. There's a look at Nick Schroeder, who's done an excellent job in this Maple Grove program. You see 4 times coaching them the state, including the last 3 seasons. So going 4 for 9 getting to state. A lot of coaches are like that. Oh, back cut there, just tipped away at the last second as Willard was going to have an easy opportunity if that ball had gotten through.
Yeah, I think the first time he made it to state, he was in Section 5, which, to be honest, is a little bit more difficult than this traditionally, but it doesn't matter. You get in there 3 times in a row means you're a heck of a coach.
Motts knocking down another 3 for Buffalo, and the Bison surge into the lead here, 9-8.
Yeah, Motts is one of the guys that is a little bit underrated. He's definitely a really good player, and he's worked hard on his shot. He's a gym rat.
And that one way off from Bergstrom from the corner. Dahl, nice strong move to the hoop and gets it to go. Looked like maybe a little contact too, but he finished right through it.
Yeah, he's a very strong player. You see they're playing a pack defense. They're packing in the lane, but the one guy they're getting out on, they've had 2 turnovers because Adams is going to draw coverage.
Motts the miss, but blew it with the putback, and a 5-point lead now for Buffalo. They have scored 7 in a row.
He's the one guy they're going to kind of deny, and twice Jerry's tried to pass it to him. They call a carry, I think.
Yeah, it looks like a foul call,
foul.
actually. And it's going to be against Bergstrom off the ball there. That'll be his second.
That's one thing with 3 officials, you'll get a lot more off the ball calls. Good timeout there by Coach Schrader. I assume he's the one who called it. Schroeder. I've been saying it wrong for a long time. Sorry, Coach Schroeder. So here comes one of the big men, Ryan McGinnis. And a couple times he's got in this year, he's had some really nice games. I know when he played Armstrong, I watched that game, and McGinnis came in and he hit a couple 3-pointers, and he gave him some real life off the bench. He's a skinny guy, but he can get up and rebound. So there he is, 41. Probably going to help guard Bauman.
Interesting early in this game, we've seen a lot of people knock down threes, and then a couple times I think sometimes guys get caught up in it, maybe who aren't necessarily their main 3-point shooters, and they say, hey, I like this one too. And
you get that adrenaline going, I think, as a player. Sometimes you think you can make it from anywhere and anything, even if you're not a great shooter. So, I mean, if you make a bunch of them, though, it's amazing what can happen. You know, in a playoff game, sometimes guys are locked in and one team just gets hot. But I don't know, I think this is going to be an even game. I think Maple Grove will settle down.
See that regular season meeting, Maple Grove, they didn't feel they played especially well, but ended up losing it by 5. And I kind of was asking, I thought, identical record, and Buffalo beat Maple Grove head-to-head. Was there any controversy in the seeding? And both coaches really said no. In fact, Nick Schroeder said he was kind of surprised at the way they do it. There's really no discussion. They just voted, and that was it. And his team finished a couple points ahead. And in large part, I think, because of their Northwest Suburban Conference schedule that that
I think
overall the teams kind of give that the nod. And the fact that, when you win it the last couple of years, I know that's not really supposed to factor in, but I think in a lot of coaches' minds it probably does. Here's a drive. And Willard erases that one. But McGinnis gets it back, and they'll get a layup out of it as Betcher finishes. So Willard with a nice swat, but they didn't secure the rebound.
And both teams look like they're relaxed. They're not tight. They're coming out ready to play. And that makes for the best championship games.
Bauman backing his way in, had it blocked, gets it back, and scores.
Well, it's good link there, and he blocked the first shot, but Bauman's a strong kid, and he got the rebound and powered his way in for the putback.
Rainey grabbed by Bauman there, got both hands on him, and will be called for the foul. That's the first foul on Buffalo. Here's another look at that block. Willard, a nice job. But Willard not worried where the ball is. He's going to think he's intimidating down there. Not loving that.
Yeah, no doubt. If you're the coach there, that's something that you got to tell the kid to stay focused. Every possession means a lot in a game like this.
Rainey the miss. Bauman grabs the rebound in traffic. Dahl almost lost his footing and then left it a little short. He's almost able to get it back himself. A big fight for it. And then officials conferring here.
Might be a jump ball, who knows?
Going to be Maple Grove basketball.
Buffalo fans don't like that.
I think everybody always wants them to make a real definitive call right away, but when you've got two guys that might have seen it differently, I think it's a great idea that you come together, and so you're not having one guy vigorously pointing one way and the other the other way, and then you make everybody mad.
I agree. Get it right.
Rainey will walk it into the front court here. Maple Grove down by 5. Had a good start, but Buffalo a nice surge after that. Adams back out. Rainey will quickly swing it around. And a three from the right side is good as Betcher knocks it down.
Yeah, Betcher is 6'3" sophomore, and he looked confident on that one. They're going to need guys, that's one thing Maple Grove does. They got a lot of balance. They don't just depend on one guy. Rainey and Adams get the most, but everyone else chips in for Maple Grove.
Mott's a miss there. McGinnis grabs a rebound. It was a nice shot fake by Mott, but not able to knock it down after getting by the defender there. There's Dreyer shooting it up. Another long distance three for the Crimson. It's his second from beyond the arc, and Maple Grove fighting back to take the lead back.
And I don't know what the game plan is there, but they got to get out on Dreyer. Can't just let him shoot.
Dreyer going to go to the hoop, and the tip try wouldn't go, but there's McGinnis to put it back.
Yeah, both times I saw McGinnis play this year, he had double figures. I don't know, and then most of the year he averages about 2 points a game, but the guy's an effective player.
Timeout now taken by Buffalo as it's Maple Grove's turn to put on a little surge. They've scored 8 in a row here to retake the lead at 18-15.
Another good timeout. Those momentum timeouts. Sometimes as a coach, I didn't like to call those. I like to save them towards the end, but I think in a game this big, you don't want anything to get out of hand, and not out of hand, but you don't want the other team to get momentum, so you want to kind of break their momentum. Now Bauman got a foul earlier, and that can be an issue. And the way he got it was there was a ball screen out top, and they guarded by hard hedging, which means Bauman gets out there really strong and tries to stop the point guard. Well, Jared Rainey knows how to draw fouls, and if they keep doing it that way, don't be surprised if Bauman gets a few more fouls. And if I were Nick Schroeder, I would do more of those top of the key ball screens.
Trevor Johnson, number 21, is in now for Buffalo. He'll get it into Blewett.
Little token full court pressure here.
Dahl looking inside. Bauman got good deep position, but he'll kick it out to Motts.
Bauman got one shot block. I'm surprised right there he didn't try to power his way in. But he might have been thinking about the fact that he did get one block. He needs to power his way in, but there's a good double team.
Raked away there, and then Rainey ran over his own teammate on the way up court. We'll get a foul against Buffalo as they were trying to stop Rainey's drive. I think it will be on Johnson.
You get Rainey out in space, he's very effective. Maple Grove doesn't really look to push all the time, but when they do, they're very effective. And they got some athletic guys who can run, and Rainey's really good at making decisions on the fast break.
Betcher around to Rainey. He'll let it fly for 3, in and out. Bauman, a nice job on the board there. In for Maple Grove, Rashawn Parker, number 24. Here's Dahl, a pull-up, wouldn't drop. Crimson able to secure the rebound.
I think McGinnis has 4 rebounds already, limited time.
Dreyer, another long distance 3, and it's good again.
So again, I'm wondering if that's a game plan to, like, maybe they didn't think he's a consistent shooter, but they got to get out and guard him.
Bauman working his way in, and Crimson fans wanted to travel, but it's going to be a foul on Maple Grove.
Well, they kind of had the help on the penetration, and it was just a pitch back there, so it's a smart play by Rainey.
McGinnis picking up the foul. Bauman to the free throw line here for Buffalo.
I mean, it looked like McGinnis was straight up, but maybe the guy coming in fouled him. McGinnis still giving up some weight down there, and maybe he had to push with his hips.
Willard coming back in. He's been surprisingly quiet so far. Hasn't scored and hasn't really had that many looks at the bucket.
Yeah, because he'll let him fly if he gets a sniff. Now, Dahl's been shooting a lot. He's been very aggressive and, kind of without even passing a lot. He's been looking for his.
Bauman misses another free throw, and we get a foul call as well on the Bison. Dahl will pick it up. 3rd team foul on Buffalo.
Tony Dahl's very aggressive and physical. He's playing with a lot of confidence coming into this game. Now, both teams are pretty young, but Maple Grove does have a couple seniors that are really talented. And, Buffalo brings some seniors off the bench and then more role player guys.
Dreyer getting it over to Parker down the baseline. Rainey, a skip pass. They'll keep that ball moving.
We're running a 5-out offense right now. There's a cut by Jared Rainey.
Rainey flashing through, scores, and a foul. He waited for Johnson to cut in front of him and hit him on the arm and then finished strong.
Yeah, Johnson kind of fell asleep on the backside, and Jared saw that, and he just cut right to the block. Didn't see much of a fall there.
No,
but
I know. I'm sorry. I said hit him on the arm. He definitely didn't do that. Maybe a little body contact,
yeah.
but I think Buffalo might have a little bit of an argument there. But it's a 3-point play there for Rainey and the Crimson. They go up 24-15. Biggest lead for either team.
Yeah, 14-point run here, 14-0.
Willard just saving it toward Dahl. It's out off Dahl. Maple Grove kind of picking their spots to really throw a little bit of pressure on, and it's worked out a couple times.
I mean, Maple Grove's a really interesting team because they don't really have any superstar guy, and they really do it together. And all of a sudden, you'll be watching a game, and they'll be up 10 points. It's like, how did they do that? Well, they can shoot the 3 very well. That's one thing they do. But look at Rainey get to the rim.
Rainey driving it past. They've shot the 3 well early, so the shot fake, Buffalo respected it, and he went by him. And Rainey's really become a good finisher. And it figures as you get older that you're going to get better at it.
Yeah, he's definitely stronger. He's got good body control. And you're right. The fact he took 2 threes early and he made one of them, they had to come out on him. And that was a smart start to the game by Rainey to make him pay early on the 3.
Into traffic, but Adams able to get it kicked out. Parker will shoot it up, and that one won't drop.
But one thing when you do shoot as many 3s as Maple Grove, you can go cold too, and the other team can make comebacks. I've had teams like that we relied a lot on the 3.
And Parker up with the steal. Adams for the layup, bounces and drops.
Adams is a heck of a player. He's very athletic. I hear he's not going to play college basketball because he's a Division I golfer. He's going down to Arizona to play. But he would certainly be a good small college basketball player. The guy can shoot it, and he's very athletic.
Dahl into traffic, try to go to Bauman. And then we'll get a reach in on Dreyer as he looked to attack the dribbler a little bit there. First foul on Kyle. Team foul number 5 against Maple Grove. Blewett will come back in, and now in for Maple Grove is Lavelle Williams, number 21.
I've seen Buffalo play earlier in this year, and they got down probably 15 points to Princeton, and they made a comeback that was really nice. The gym got rocking, so I wouldn't count them out. I mean, it's still early, really early, but they've given up a lot of points.
Willard shooting no, but Rainey runs into him, and he'll get 3 free throws. Willard was way out there, and Rainey trying to close on him quickly and ended up kind of running into him.
Is that his first foul?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, when a guy's shooting from that deep, just kind of stick your arm up and hope he misses. He can make them, though. I've seen him make those long-range threes.
Well, he really lit it up in the section final a year ago against Maple Grove. Ended up 15 points in the first half and 26 total, but started to cool down a little bit. But boy, early in that game, I was like, wow, I can't even believe he's taking these shots, let alone
he's
making
deep range. And they're going to need him to get hot. They're going to have to start setting some screens and doing some stuff to get him open. But at the same time, Maple Grove knows that, and especially from playing him the first time. They probably had a different strategy the first time, too. Make some adjustments for the playoffs. And you know you're probably going to play this team in the playoffs. You don't show everything, how you're going to defend.
Willard hits the middle free throw. Now one more coming. So he makes 2 out of 3. Those are actually his first points of the night. And the lead is trimmed to 9 now.
Look for Willard to start launching some shots here in the next few possessions. The one thing I say about Maple Grove, too, and they play with such confidence, it comes from their head coach being a tough guy and being so good for so long now. They're just really a confident team.
Shot from the corner won't go for Williams, and here come the Bison. Motts. And out of bounds, it looks like, against Buffalo. Jack Munster, Tiger number 5, is into the lineup here for Buffalo.
Those calls made by referee Norby, District 281 employee, or at least I think he still is.
He actually worked the Maple Grove Centennial Girls game in the state tournament that I broadcast yesterday.
Yeah, he's a good official. He's been doing it for a long time.
I'm not sure if I'm following him around or he's following me.
Everyone follows you, Jay.
He was the former head football coach at Cooper as well.
Another veteran ref, Dean Kockelman, is reffing this game, and he was reffing the last game we saw. Chapel Park game.
Yep, Tuesday night. Under 8 minutes to go now in the first half. Maple Grove by 9. Buffalo, their fans applauding the D at the start of this possession.
5-out spread offense.
Rainey on the drive, had it blocked. Nice dish. Dreyer finding the open man, Williams.
Maple Grove doesn't think that the freshman point guard can stay with Jared, so they're spreading the floor. They're giving the ball to Jared, and they're letting him try to operate. Oh, that's a long 3. He'll make that sometime.
Adams missing, but it comes to Dreyer. And now Williams, who just scored a moment ago. Oops, that pass back out to no one. Adams looks and says, who was that to?
Well, Adams went to the wrong space. Adams thought he was going to baseline drift, but there's already a guy in the corner, so he drifted and he stopped, and then the guy just automatically, you have that guy usually spaced out. But yeah, I suppose you should look first. But you do it so much in practice. It's kind of the way basketball's played now. That baseline drive, kick it to the corner, and then kick it one more up. But he threw it to no one. Well,
you don't love the turnover, but you do like the fact that it didn't go directly to a Buffalo guy for a layup.
Yeah, it went out of bounds.
30-19 Crimson.
Buffalo really needs to try to make a run here and get this thing within 6 or so at half, and then they feel a lot more comfortable than being down by 11 or more.
Yeah, they seem to be getting some of the shots they wanted in the early going, but not nearly as much of late here. They've had to work for everything they've gotten.
Yeah, Maple Grove is a good defensive team. They play solid. They play in front of their man. They move their feet. You can tell they work a lot on position defense.
Motts driving it to the baseline. Nice, strong finish. He's a lefty there, and he had just a little room to get that one up. So Buffalo to within 9.
And just as I said that, the rotation was a little slow on Motts. He's been real good in this game. He made 2 threes in that. Right? I think he's got 8 points.
Rainey, the drive and dish. We're going to get a traveling call out there on the wing as McGinnis.
Yeah, referee Kockelman, that's one of his favorite calls, is the travel if he thinks the guy moves his pivot foot. And I don't know if Nick thinks he did move his pivot foot. Sometimes that looks like a travel just because you shot fake. I don't know. I'd have to see the replay.
I always kind of tell kids, though, if it looks like it might be, that's something you might want to work on getting rid of, because some refs are going to call that. Here's Adams for 3.
And Jared Rainey with this heady steal. Jared Rainey is a great anticipator. He saw that pass, and you got to know where he is when you're making a pass. He went and stole it and then kicked it up to the guy he's been playing with now for 2 years.
Boy, Adams was locked and loaded. As soon as that pass was coming his way, you knew that shot was going up. And I'm not so sure he didn't have a little word for the Buffalo students right next to him there, too, on the way back up court. Yeah, maybe not.
Yeah, sometimes if they say something to you, you might give them a little business. But the thing I liked about Nate's game, though, what's changed from last year, in my opinion, is he's really good at shot faking now and going. So he can keep you guessing. You know, and that one he could have actually gone by that guy, but he knows when he can get it off or not. He's got good length. You know, I think he's 6'3" or 6'4", and you know, he's one of the best shooters in the metro area. He has been for 2 years.
33-21 advantage here for Maple Grove. They started well, then Buffalo had a nice surge, but then it's been mostly Maple Grove since. And I think they've...
well, the change in the game to me is when McGinnis went in.
Yeah, he's definitely been a factor. I feel like their defense got stronger as the half has gone on, too. They just haven't given up too many easy looks at all to Buffalo.
And McGinnis is just playing behind. And then if he gets it in the post, they'll help with their quickness. But by playing behind, you don't have to overhelp on those shooters, and they're in the passing lanes and they're getting some steals. Now a little pressure.
Inbounded to Bauman. They'll just let him walk the ball up court.
Yeah, one game I saw, Bauman actually played point guard a lot of the game. He could do that against McGinnis too. I would go inside. They're going to try to post up Tony Dahl, it looks like.
Dahl does get the ball in there. He'll just do a little step back jumper, no good. Bauman, though, fights for the rebound. It rolls off. And then grabbed by Williams for Maple Grove.
For Buffalo to win, Bauman's going to have to be a force inside. They're going to have to get him the ball, and he's going to have to finish those kind of shots.
Adams handing off. Rainey will shoot that long distance three. No good, but Williams grabs the rebound. And he was fouled.
Yeah, they didn't box out, and I mean, even if you box out on some of those long rebounds are kind of hard to just box out with your rear. You know, you gotta just kind of box them a little, and then you gotta chase it to the ball. And Lavelle Williams is very quick, so that was a nice long rebound for him.
Free throw is good. Those are the kind that you really kind of hate to commit fouls on, because I think he was, you know, that was going to be a relatively tough shot that he ended up taking.
Definitely. And he never follow a jump shooter. That's the Cardinal rules, the in-between jumper.
Williams makes a pair from the line, so Maple Grove scoring at probably even a little better pace than what they're used to here. They're up 35-21 and still 5:20 to go in this first half. They've been efficient offensively.
Yeah, and Ryan McGinnis is staying in the game, and they like what they're getting out of him. And some games he doesn't even play, to be honest, when they go against teams that have all small guys. But this is a good matchup for him, and they like having him in the game. His length.
Dahl gets to the bucket, no good, but he was fouled. He made a nice spin move there.
And Dahl is being aggressive. The one thing I'll say about Buffalo, though, it doesn't seem like they're having a lot of flow on offense. You know, they're not really moving the ball like they like, getting it swung side to side. That's probably what the coach is going to talk about at halftime. And you know, they got to the foul line right there, but for Buffalo to be really good, they got to get that ball moving side to side, penetrate, kick for threes to Willard, and then get it inside to Bauman.
Parker coming back into the Crimson lineup here. Dahl able to get 1 out of 2 from the line, so that's something Buffalo's going to need to do a little bit better too, is shoot free throws if they want to make up this deficit.
So they're in the 5-out offense. Oh, no, now they're putting a high post. Oh, they're zone. Okay, so Buffalo's going zone down 13 with 5 minutes to go. That's interesting. I've seen a Nick Schroeder team hold the ball in this situation. You don't really want to hold it and get tight when you feel like you're the better team, though.
McGinnis, a turnaround from 15.
That's exactly what Buffalo wants them to do, though, right there. Shoot that 15-footer. So the gamble paid off for Ortman there.
Blew it to the hole, and he scores it. That time he used Rainey's aggressiveness against him and spun away.
Yeah, Bluett's a good player. I mean, he's not afraid. He's a freshman. He's played the full season now. And I've seen him play a couple times as well. And he's just a very confident guy. He's just, 4 years younger.
35-24. Crimson lead trimmed down to 11.
Now they're back to man-to-man. It's hard to tell because the ball's just out there. It could be a matchup zone, but I think it's man. They're just really packing it in. But again, no shot clock in high school. You can sit there and dribble that thing for the next 2 minutes if you want to.
Adams working his way to the baseline.
He can hit this.
From the corner, it's way off, and Dahl rebounds.
He can make it. Probably not the shot you want, though. You know what I mean?
Willard pushed off, offensive foul. Oh, and then we get a technical against Maple Grove, though. So Willard will be called for the personal foul with the push-off, but then they get a technical called against Dreyer.
What did he do?
I think it was verbal.
Okay.
I think he said something on the way by to Willard. There you get the push-off, and
oh, he said something to him.
yeah.
Yeah, I think just telling the way Willard plays, he's probably not making a lot of friends out there. Reminds you a little bit of J.P. Makura, and he's got a little edge to him, which when he's on your side, you like it. When you're on the other side, it might get you mad. But evidently, the Maple Grove guy lost his poise. So
Yeah, second foul. So Betcher, Bergstrom, and Dreyer all have 2 fouls. That technical, of course, counts as a personal against Dreyer, so that's something to keep a little bit of an eye on. And Willard hitting the second technical free throw there.
Sorry. I was saying earlier, Ryan McGinnis, in a game like this, he's got to realize, do your role. Go in, play defense, rebound, and they don't really need him shooting threes, even though he can make them. Especially when the other team is making a little bit of a run.
And stolen away by Williams with quick hands.
Yeah, he's a good defender. He's playing the point here temporarily.
10-point game.
Kind of a 3-man weave out top. Almost 4 out, 1 in, really running a high offense.
Rainey puts it on the deck, looks to attack, and he scores. Nice, strong finish. Boy, he really used his pivot foot well there. It looked like he was going to kind of fade away from the basket, and instead he went right to it.
And he got to the basket from so far away with no dribble.
Dahl missing at point-blank range, and McGinnis grabs the rebound. That was a big miss for Buffalo there. It was really a good, strong move by Tony. He just didn't get it to drop.
Again, he's being very aggressive. I kind of like it, but I also would like to see Buffalo getting that ball moving a little bit and use their whole team.
Oh, an offensive foul there. Pretty easy one to call, as Parker tried to spin through the defense, and Dahl was just standing there waiting for him.
And that's what Coach said about Dahl, is he'll do a little bit of everything. He'll get rebounds, he defends. He can, as we've seen, he's hit a jumper, he's driven to the bucket, and there he takes the charge. So guys like that are really valuable. Now he's playing point guard. So he's definitely a very valuable player. I would just like to see Buffalo get that ball moving, doing a high pick and roll right here.
Dahl attacks, scores, and a foul.
Well, what do I know? Yeah, high screen, and they thought Dahl had the mismatch.
And see Adams with the bump, and Dahl just getting it to roll home there.
He's playing with supreme confidence, and that's one good thing about that, is that your teammates see that, and they say, hey, we got a warrior out there. We got a guy who's not afraid. He's going to maybe make a couple mistakes, but we're going to play to win, not play not to lose. And so I like how Tony Dahl's aggressiveness.
He gets a break now. He does have 2 fouls, and I think it's probably more of that than the rest right now as they pull him out and Johnson comes in. Oh, they overcommitted on D and allowed a driving lane for Williams, and he was more than happy to take advantage of it.
That was a big play. Stopped the bleeding a little bit there for Maple Grove.
Back to an 11-point lead now for the Crimson. 1:45 to go first half. It's the Section 8 4A final on CCX Sports. They leave Blewett open, not able to hit it. And the Crimson able to secure the rebound. Again,
Bauman being guarded, man-to-man, guy playing behind him, but there's always a little bit of help, and he made a good play and hit it to the open man. I think I'd still like to see Bauman maybe just go up, get it quick, be strong, go up, and get your rebound if you miss, because he's got the strength factor going for him.
Maple Grove's going to be patient here, trying to preserve this lead, and Rainey nearly lost his balance. Now gets it out to McGinnis, finds Adams cutting. And it'll be Parker for 3.
Coach Schroeder said before the game that they need Parker to hit a few threes off the bench, and there he did. And Maple Grove's run a really simple offense, just pulling the ball up high with 3 men and hoping that Buffalo overcommits.
So under 45 to go. The lead is ballooned back to 14 now for Maple Grove at 42-28 as they withstood a little bit of a run for Buffalo. Bauman giving it up. Baseline pass, he intercepted. Williams doing a nice job dropping down to grab that one.
And Maple Grove, like I said before, they're all quick and athletic, and they stay connected on defense. So you might think you have an opening there, but if you don't make the pass right away, there's a guy recovering.
Maple Grove gonna take the last shot here, I think. That's certainly the intention as we go under 10 seconds. They're up 14. Even if they don't make it, they'll be sitting pretty. There's Adams, a shot no good. Rebound by Parker, back out. Rainey for a buzzer-beating 3, and he hits. Couldn't have drawn that up much better for Maple Grove. They did miss the first shot, but get an offensive board, kick it back out, and Rainey puts them up by 17 with that make at halftime. So it's 45-28 Crimson at halftime. We'll be back with more of our coverage here of the Section 8 4A boys basketball final on CCX.
What to expect when you're expecting.
Like here?
A teenager.
Today, I'm going to show you how to teen-proof your home. First step, hide the car keys. Preferably somewhere they would never look. Challenges will come up. Be ready for them. Hi, honey.
Ready for the... Mom, you don't use mannequins in the mannequin challenge.
You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
This is the story of a boy who is very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. It made him feel uncomfortable. One day, he found out he had something called autism. His family got him help. And slowly, he learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Welcome back. Boy, it's a great, lively crowd here at St. Michael Albertville. It certainly kind of speaks to maybe the section final should be in high school gyms, which a lot of them are now. 45-28, Maple Grove leading Buffalo at halftime. And again, we said this is a rematch from last year's championship game, and that was at Monticello. And as I recall it, Buffalo's Willard was en fuego early and scored 15 points, and it ended up being a 14-point win for Maple Grove, but the game was really kind of back and forth pretty darn deep into the game. Buffalo taking a lead late, and Maple Grove putting them away nicely there. And we said a lot of the guys, Mac Wilner obviously not back this year, he was a senior, but a lot of the guys from both of these teams that were key players a year ago are in the game again tonight. And you see Maple Grove securing the victory with that 66-52 win. And it was a kind of a special one. It was mostly a brand new group playing for the Crimson a year ago. Look at this tournament over the last several years as Buffalo went to state in 2014, St. Michael in 2015, Maple Grove taking it the last 3 years, beating Elk River, then Rogers, and then a year ago Buffalo. And we'll see who is going to get it done here in 2019. The sign's looking good for Maple Grove, but obviously we've got a lot of basketball yet to play. It is 45-28 Crimson at halftime. We will come right back here to St. Michael Albertville in just a moment.
There was an old woman who lived in a shoe. She had so many children, she didn't know what to do. She gave them some broth. without any bread. And kiss them all soundly.
Lights out. Good night.
And put them to bed. Hunger is a story we can end. End it at feedingamerica.org.
Get it.
Get it. Get it.
Give your town a reason to celebrate. Because every Goodwill item you bring home brings job training and more to your community. Goodwill. Bring good home.
Maple Grove up 45-28 over Buffalo at halftime as they ended the first half with a good flurry. Jared Rainey knocking one down. We'll check out the way that first half shaped up in this one. And there was kind of a game of surges. Early on, Maple Grove kind of was getting it done, and then Buffalo went on a nice run. Dahl here taking the inbound, and he stops and fires and knocks it down. He was kind of the offense in the first half along with this guy. Brandon Motts hit a couple of threes for the Bison as well. Getting another one right here. But they didn't get it spread around all that much in that opening half. Dahl spinning and scoring right there. Motts driving baseline and a nice finish on this one, but Willard was surprisingly silent. Only 3 free throws in that opening half. Blew it this time. You watch Rainey thinking he's going to be able to steal that ball, and he just ended up going by him and scoring the hoop there for Buffalo. But Maple Grove, wow, what a first half offensively. Jared Rainey knocking down an early 3 for the Crimson. And Dreyer was red hot early as well as he made 3 threes in that first half. This time driving it. Willard blocked it, but Maple Grove getting the ball right back, and they get 2 out of it as Betcher finishing inside. And Betcher knocking down a 3 from the wing as well right there for the Crimson. Another 3 ball that time for Dreyer, and then they end up with the miss, but McGinnis was a nice spark off the bench for the Crimson, both ends of the floor. And then a sweet pass there as Williams, the recipient from Dreyer. Adams lets it rip from the wing there for Maple Grove. And then they get the long miss, but watch the nice rebound and kick out. And Rainey, at that point, there's nothing to think about. You know you don't have time. You just got to let it go. And he makes a 3. The half could not have ended any better for Maple Grove. Dahl with 11, Motts with 8. As we said, Willard, their leading scorer, conspicuously absent with only 3 points. Rainey 13, Dreyer with 9, and Nate Adams 7. Those have kind of been their 3 most experienced and go-to guards, and they're getting it done so far tonight. Well, we'll see what Buffalo can do to change and get back in this one, or if Maple Grove's going to try and put them away early. 45-28 Crimson, our score at the half. We will come back with our second half of basketball here on CCX.
Hey! There are amazing things to discover in the forest.
Toothless, time to go! What you picking up on, bud?
It's a whole hidden world of wonders. And the perfect place to spend time with family. What better place to let your imagination soar? Experience nature and create a memory you can share. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest or park near you.
And we're set for the second half of basketball here on CCX with Maple Grove leading Buffalo 45-28. Probably not the most fun locker room to be in for Buffalo, but what they have to remember is that they've got some firepower, and you can't be thinking about trying to get it all back at once. You just have to come out and string together solid possessions.
And they are a streaky team.
Foul as they went inside to Bauman as he was grabbed by Bergstrom. That'll be his 3rd.
I like that going right inside to Bauman, and I think when McGinnis comes in, which he probably is right away, they should continue to do that because he's got about 30 pounds on him, and he needs to be able to go down there and assert his physicalness.
Willard will inbound here for Buffalo. Gets it to Bauman. Looking to attack, and he gets it to go.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what Coach told him at halftime, is that you got to go to work and make them follow you, get them in foul trouble.
Yeah, you don't ever want to, fault a guy for being unselfish, but I agree. I think there were times when he could have used the advantage to try and score the ball a little bit more. That's going to be a hold there, kind of grabbed around the neck a little bit, it looked like, as Mott's trying to slow Rainey down on the dribble.
I mean, the game has evolved to where bigs like to kick it out for those threes, and I like that to a point. But if you're a big who can score on two, which I think he can in this game because the other guy guarding him is, 5 inches shorter than him, the double team, if you go up, doesn't really matter. And then you can go hit the boards if you're Buffalo as well. This is their offense they call Crimson.
Back out. Betcher will line up a three, and that is good. And I think it's important for Maple Grove to stay aggressive here, too. I mean, you want to take good shots, obviously, but you can't be looking to protect a lead for a whole half either. Dahl attacking, and it rolls out. He gets it back, and is fouled.
That Dahl, he's a big, strong kid in there. Very much wanted his own rebound and got it and drew the foul. That play before Maple Grove, the one thing that they give you problems with is even their big guys can shoot threes, so you can't really sag off at anybody.
McGinnis picked up his second foul. Dahl's free throw bounces and drops. He didn't have a great first half at the line, 3 for 5.
Yeah, McGinnis, like I said, a guy who sometimes doesn't even get in the game, in a varsity game. In this game, they don't want him in foul trouble. He played pretty much the whole first half, and he'll probably play this whole second half.
48-32 Crimson lead.
They're running their cross-screen offense again, trying to post up their guard right there.
Adams flashes out to the wing, but that one's off the back of the iron. Mott's the rebound here for Buffalo.
And I agree with you. They got a 16-point lead, but you got to stay aggressive at the same time. You go cold from three, and the other team can catch up a little bit too. So
Willard faking the three and steps in and scores on the hanging bank shot there. So 14-point game.
That was nice shot. He's got skill, you can tell.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to have to talk him into shooting more. It was kind of surprising to see how few attempts he got.
He didn't touch the ball much, I think.
Dahl rebounded and then was fouled on the way back up court as Betcher kind of fell into his heel and made him stumble. It's one of those, I think, as an official, you don't really want to call, but when it affects the game,
then you
kind of have to.
I think that's how they would have called it, too.
So third foul on Betcher. He and Bergstrom each have 3, and a couple other guys have 2. So something Maple Grove might have some minor concern with. Here is Willard pulling up, not there, and rebounded by McGinnis. Kind of a heat check there, trying to get himself going.
Yeah, we knew that was probably going to happen, and if he makes one of those, he can get hot.
Dreyer's pull-up is short. Maple Grove hoping that the great shooting touch they had in the first half didn't get cooled off by that, halftime break. And that one's off of Dahl's left hand. He couldn't quite reach it, and Coach didn't really like that angle. That's a tough angle to throw that pass from, and Coach Ortman was not happy.
You can't waste possessions when you're down 14. And like you said about three-point shooting, wanting to stay hot, but the nature of three-point shooting is, for most teams, is streaky. So they'll probably, that's an old play they used to run. They try to go high-low, but they didn't throw it in there to McGinnis. It's old Michigan State play. A lot of teams run that.
Adams driving it across, and now they get it to Rainey on the wing. Rainey will look to attack, and he scores a strong layup there.
I think Rainey is shown to be the best player in this game. He's got 15 points, and he's controlled the tempo and got steals, gets to the basket under control.
Dahl's pass deflected out of bounds by Rainey that time, so the lead back to 16 now for Maple Grove. Every time Buffalo starts to get a feel like they're maybe starting to close the gap a little bit, Maple Grove seems to have an answer.
Yeah, and usually it's Rainey. And the thing about Rainey is interesting. He's very smooth, so it doesn't look like he's just going to blow by you.
Oh, Dahl will be called for the offensive foul there, and that is his third. I think Buffalo felt like maybe there was a little bit of a flop, but at the same time, maybe he did lead with the arm a little bit too.
Yeah, a lot of times when our camera goes on those kids, they get a little grin on their face like, hey, I fooled the ref. But it looked to me like he got a shoulder to the chest. So
Well, and the thing about it, I know a lot of people just really hate when somebody flops, but that's the only way you're going to get a call usually is if you do go down.
If you don't fall down, they're not calling it generally.
Yeah, they foul there on that entry pass. Going to go against Blewett.
Yeah, Maple Grove again going to their 5-out spread offense, and they all can shoot it, so you have to stay out and guard everybody. They like to go high-low off of this out-of-bounds play.
Back out to Rainey.
Maple Grove just plays patient, and then they explode.
Well, we get a foul on away from the ball on an illegal screen, I believe, as Rainey, or maybe not a screen, but he was called for the foul off the ball anyway, as he will pick up his second.
And there's a lot of time left in this game. I mean, 2 fouls isn't very many, but if he picks up another quick one, that could be trouble for the Crimson. That should be a charge.
And another offensive foul against Dahl, and that'll be his 4th. Betcher again drawing it.
And he is a very aggressive kid, as I've been saying this whole game. That time he got a little too aggressive with his shoulder. That's an easy call. And you got to know that too. You got to know you got 3 fouls. You can't go crashing in there. Move the ball, pass cut. And now he's got to sit on the bench till probably, I suppose, 8 minutes left in the game, I'm guessing.
Betcher getting a lot of backslaps for getting knocked down a couple times. Those were big plays.
Yeah, that's huge because Dahl's a good player. Spreading the floor now with a even higher offense. Just daring them to come out and get them. No shot clock, so you can hold the ball out there and then attack.
And that's what they do, but Rainey flipping it up in traffic. Bauman the rebound here for Buffalo. Willert gets the handoff and he'll let it rip, but it's short on the rim.
Yeah, he's a volume shooter, and he hasn't got a lot of them, so he hasn't been able to get hot.
Rainey the rebound after the miss by Adams, but the pass deflected and stolen. Blewett leading the break here for Buffalo, and he scores a tough hoop.
Beautiful Euro step. Like I said earlier, this kid's not afraid, he plays.
Nick Schroeder, I don't think really loved the shot that his team took at the other end there.
Yeah, 2 possessions in a row were not good for Maple Grove. With an 18-point lead, that's when you can, really put the hammer down and make this game out of reach. But 14 right now, you're a little nervous as a coach because, just a couple 3-pointers, it's an 8-point game, and the crowd's going crazy for Buffalo. That's one thing that we haven't seen yet. This Buffalo crowd, we know how loud they can get. And in the game I saw earlier this year when they played Princeton, they were down by 20, and they came back and won. The crowd just started really getting into it, and they fed off it, and these young players feed off emotion. So that's probably their only chance to win is, hit a couple threes and do it on the defensive end, get a steal or something. But that's a good start right there.
And it goes without saying you'd rather be the team with a nice lead, but at the same time, I think sometimes you can kind of tighten up a little bit when you feel like you're protecting a lead rather than just playing.
I think I mentioned this last broadcast, but a great a solid Northern Iowa team with a great coach was up 18 points to go to the NCAA tournament in the second half, and they lost the lead and lost the game. So it can happen to anyone. Now here's their zone. They tried it before, and they got him to take an early shot. That's what they're gambling right now. That
nice baseline passing, and the layup is good.
I love that. That's what you have to respond like if you're Maple Grove. Don't launch a 3. That's what they want you to do. Or take a tough shot from the elbow area, but they got it inside and got a layup.
Yeah, and a nice extra pass, too. I wouldn't, the previous ball could have been shot. Buffalo fans wanted a foul on Bauman, and then Blewett is called for the foul as he grabbed Adams.
McGinnis affected that shot down at the other end. He's got really good length. He's 6'7" with long arms.
Josh Burkholtz, number 10, will check in for Blewett here for Buffalo. So a 16-point Maple Grove lead as Buffalo looking to throw some traps at him right now.
And now this zone is morphed into a 1-2-2 where they're, like you just said, they're getting more aggressive. That's Jared Randy territory when you do that, though. He can get inside any zone.
Miss there, and Willert grabs it and comes out of there with it for the Bison. He'll stop and pop. And it crawls out. We get a foul on the rebound against Maple Groves. McGinnis trying to battle Bauman. That'll be number 3 on Ryan McGinnis.
Be interesting to see what they do with 3 fouls. I mean, generally, you know, that's not a big concern, but he's been so good in this game that him getting 3 fouls can hurt them. Oh, that's a bad turnover.
Just tossed it away as Motts and Willard were not on the same page. Munster Tiger will come back in here for Buffalo, and Willard will get a breather. So Maple Grove still up by 16.
And I think Willard looked a little bit disappointed with his teammate, and sometimes you make a mistake, you got to own it. But I guess I don't know for sure.
Rainey will shoot it up, and it spins out. So Buffalo is getting, in a way, what they wanted.
Exactly.
Having Maple Grove take these threes, but
I mean, the first possession was awesome. They broke inside the zone, but the last 2 possessions were, you know, get one dribble inside the 3-point line and shoot threes and miss both of them. You know, they're lucky Willard didn't make that 3 the time before. Definitely not what Coach Schroeder wants. I mean,
although at the same time, you know, they built that lead by to me, that wasn't, I wouldn't consider that a bad shot. It was a pretty open 3 for Rainey. I mean, it didn't go in, granted, but
I'd like to see, like, more penetration, like get that ball in deep and really collapse the zone. I mean, he was out, I thought, a little bit far for what he normally shoots, although he did make a couple of those in the first half. But I mean, it's a fine line. You don't want to clam up. You got to stay loose, and you got to keep shooting. Then you got to hit the boards if you miss those shots. But I'd like to see deeper penetration. You know, get that ball down where the defense really has to collapse.
Even though Buffalo has gotten Maple Grove to you know, hit a couple misses and all that, they really still haven't cut into the gap to speak of. It's still 16. So
well, they almost did last possession. He barely missed that 3, but they shot a quick shot themselves. So, you know, they're shooting maybe some quick ones. Trying to get Willard going with a high screen. Trying to look into Bauman. There they go. See, that's where he passes out. I'd like to see him attack right there.
Couple of subs who haven't played much in there for Buffalo now. Bauman will get it back out. You're probably, more than likely, not going to see Munster Tiger or Burkholz really be looking to score the ball. Motts pulling up from 15, in and out, and then knocked out of bounds by Williams of Maple Grove. He didn't get possession, but he probably saved a layup as Burkholz looked like he was going to be in position for a putback there.
Yep. Bauman got one little shot blocked early, and he has not been aggressive down low.
And we get a foul against the Crimson, it looks like. Dreyer will be called for his 3rd as he was chasing somebody around a screen and I guess got too aggressive in doing so. And that's going to be bonus time now for Buffalo. And that's when you're trying to make up ground, you know, when you can get points with the clock stopped is big, but they haven't been great at the line tonight.
Yeah, Buffalo, if they're going to make their move, it's got to be here in the next few minutes. You know, get this thing under 10 is what their goal would be probably. And you get this under 10, you get the crowd going, and then anything can happen.
Yeah, really, you don't, you know, probably you're thinking more just about in terms of on the court what's going on, but you're right, the crowd part of it, I think, could be big if Buffalo ever gets something going. They're just really waiting to get going. Nice rebound and putback by Munster Tiger.
I think he got away with a little push in the back there, but hey, it was a smart play by the guy.
Well, and when you're down 16, those are the kind of things that are worth taking a chance on, I think, too.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but that's kind of what it looked like. Maple go back to this 3-man weave action out top, kind of 4.
Oh, and Dreyer will be called for a travel, changing his pivot foot as he made that catch. He was kind of in an awkward position foot-wise when he caught it, and he tried to adjust, and they didn't let him
He didn't think he traveled. He was asking the ref, what did I do?
14-point game. Buffalo trying to put together a little run. Willard fading away, no good. Nice rebound in traffic by Betcher, going up to secure that one with 2 hands.
You just sense if Willard would have made that one, the crowd would get, oh, Willard's getting hot, you know, and then we're going to make our comeback. This game's still definitely within reach in modern basketball. I mean, the 3-point line, you can easily come back. but they got to start doing it quick.
Adams to Rainey, blocked from behind, but a foul. Munster Tiger will pick up the foul. I think it was Burkholz who had a fair amount of basketball there, but I don't think it was. Yeah, they'll call it on 5 there. Rainey's free throw is good.
And when Maple Grove needs something to happen, Rainey's usually the guy who makes it happen. He's got the ball in his hands a lot, and like I said earlier, he's crafty. He can get into the lane when it doesn't seem like he's super quick. He's quicker than you think. He's kind of goes slow, and then he explodes.
54-38 lead now for Maple Grove. Back cut by Willard.
Nice
and finishes nicely off the feed from Burkholz.
Coach Ortman wants him to pick up the pressure. You know, easier said than done against Jared Rainey, though. He's very calm under pressure generally.
Parker over to Williams. 10 minutes remaining. 14-point Crimson lead as they try and win their 4th consecutive section title. And Rainey was held there by Trevor Johnson. That'll be his 3rd.
And Rainey, he's not really stalling, but he's like, I dare you to come out and get close to me. And if you do, then that's when I'm going to go by you. But if you don't, we got a 14-point lead, and I can sit here and dribble all day.
One and one, and he misses the free throw this time after knocking down his first 3. So Buffalo a chance to cut into the lead a little bit more. Blew it with the layup.
Nice move, hesitation move. And again, sometimes these young guys, like you said last game, they don't even know any different.
Oh, Buffalo will be called for the travel. They thought they'd force Rainey into, or they've called for the foul. They thought they'd force the travel. But official does not agree and will go against Johnson.
Yeah, 12-point game right now. And Buffalo is definitely right in range. That would have been a huge call. Buffalo knew it. And Rainey's got to make his free throws.
And that one spins and drops. I guess in any basketball game or any section final, free throws are going to be crucial. It definitely feels like that's going to be the case here tonight. Both into the bonus fairly early.
It's true, the refs are calling it really close.
And Rainey's second one, no good. A fight for the rebound. Buffalo out of there with it.
You sense the Buffalo crowd wants to get going.
Inside they go, and that shot missed, but tracked down himself by Munster Tiger. Willard with it way out high, looking to go to work, and was fouled.
So they're going with their small lineup now, which is one way to come back defensively, and sometimes even, you know, getting the big guy out, you spread the floor.
That's number 4 on Dreyer, and you start to wonder if the fouls are mounting up. Really, I guess for both teams, and probably a little more for Maple Grove in terms of concern with some key players.
And Maple Grove likes that 3-guard lineup, but they have some other guys off the bench that can come in too. I think Lavelle Williams definitely can come in, and with Sean Parker. So Lavelle's already in, but here comes Parker.
Dreyer will sit with those 4 fouls. Bergstrom's going to come back in, and Bauman also returning for Buffalo.
Yeah, Bergstrom, he got that foul early, and then he went to the bench, so they're going to need him to produce here.
After all those switches, everybody gets situated, and Willard will take his second free throw here. And he makes a pair of clutch free throws there, so an 11-point game.
The scary thing for Maple Grove is that Buffalo hasn't got anything going this whole game, and they're a streaky team, and they can get it going. So if they have one little run in them, then it's going to be how Maple Grove responds to that run.
Rainey getting it down low,
beautiful
and
teamwork.
Betcher will lay it in. Boy, it looked like Bergstrom wasn't ready to take what should have been an easy layup, but he gets an assist as he dropped it off to Betcher.
Yeah, really nice interior passing. They've done that a few times.
Willard might have traveled there, looked like. Now he'll step back off one foot and he hits it, plus a foul. Willard showing his Dirk Nowitzki little step back there, and in it goes, and a foul on Adams.
Yeah, he's definitely got NBA moves. He did that earlier, even when he got that foul in the first half, when he's stepping into his guys, kind of an NBA thing. And those are hard to guard, man. That step back shot, if you can make it. Nate Adams did a good job on him. I don't know if he fouled him or not. He didn't think he did, but regardless, that was a really nice shot.
And Willard completes the three-point play as he is heating up. Bison making their move.
Yeah, it's going to be how Maple Grove responds to this run now. I think the biggest lead was 18.
8.5 to play, 10-point Maple Grove lead. Parker kicking it over. Betcher misses, but a great offensive rebound to get him another crack.
Possession by Nate Adams. Big rebound because Buffalo's starting to get some momentum. I said earlier they had to get it within 10. They did get it within 10. So that's a danger area when you're Maple Grove. You're feeling we need to get a bucket here.
Rainey to Betcher, but it rolls out. Dahl with the rebound. Dahl back in with those 4 fouls. And a nice steal by Adams as Bauman dribbled toward the hoop. And a travel on Parker. He passed up a possible 3 there and put it on the deck and is called for the walk.
I mean, a really nice steal by Nate Adams, and Maple Grove was aggressive, but that's a time when you just got to pull the ball out and run your half-court offense.
Hasn't been in single digits for an awful long time, but Buffalo has a chance to get it there now.
And if it does, you'll hear this crowd roar.
Dahl lobbing to Bauman, underneath, layup, and one. We knew Buffalo was not out of this one, and here they come. Foul on Bergstrom is his 4th. Not only did they get the hoop, but they get the foul and a chance for a 3-point play, and Buffalo certainly has the momentum right now.
And look who's coming in the game for Maple Grove again, Ryan McGinnis. He's been the guy. When he's been in there, Bauman hasn't done much. But he's got a size advantage when McGinnis is not in there.
Free throw is good, so that part of the game's picking up a little bit for the Bison as well. 57-50 Maple Grove.
Nate Adams trying to bring the ball up, and he doesn't do that normally.
And what do we have here? A timeout granted?
There was a blocking foul called, but the timeout called before.
Another look as you see Adams just lost it off his hip. They know he's in trouble right now. And yeah, you're right, the call was going to be a block, but at first the official had spotted Nick Schroeder asking for a timeout. So a little bit of a break maybe there for Buffalo in the fact that, I mean, they did get the turnover, but they also weren't called for the foul that was going to be issued.
True.
Well, we know we would have one team going to state out of Section 6 from our viewing area, and it's the Hopkins Royals after they beat Wayzata. They lost to Wayzata the last 2 Section 6 4A finals, not last night. Hopkins over Wayzata 82-71. Big Zeke Naji. Another strong performance for the Royals as they will be making a return trip to the state tournament, and I would suspect probably will be one of the top 3 seeds at least.
I think so.
Depending on who else gets in.
Yeah, I think if Lakeville North gets in, they'll be one of them, and maybe Prior Lake.
Park Center certainly if they can beat Champlain Park.
It's going to be hard. They're going to have vote, and forgot about Park Center. I'm going to forget about them. And then the other team, Eastridge is really good, so it's going to be hard to seed all those teams. Now, Jared Rainey's the guy who Maple Grove's got to lean on right now. They got to get the ball in his hands. You can see that Buffalo knows that. Buffalo's putting 2 guys on him, and they don't want Rainey to get the ball, which is smart. But Rainey knows how to get open. I think he will.
Little debris on the edge of the court there. I think perhaps a little popcorn or something got away, and they're getting that cleaned up before they'll go again here. So Maple Grove inbounding. Their lead has been trimmed to 7. Ooh, Rainey, that was a tough one.
But he is a good ball handler, and they did get him the ball, which is what you want. See, he makes good decisions like that.
Back cut Adams. He's fouled by Bauman. It'll be just a second on Bauman, but he saved a layup there. But Maple Grove, a nice job of using Buffalo's aggressiveness against him there. He cut behind him.
And that's not Buffalo's normal defense. They play pack line defense, so they're not getting out in the passing lanes normally. They did there, and they gave up a back door.
Adams, all 7 of his points were in the first half, but now this free throw makes it 58-50.
You know, and Jared Rainey went 1 for 3 on free throws. That kind of opened the door a little bit. So, you know, Maple Grove is going to have to be consistent making their free throws to win this game down the stretch.
Well, Adams kind of setting the tone in that regard right there as he calmly makes a pair, and they both look perfect right from the get-go. 59-50.
Making all those long putts, you know, with the pressure on. That helps you shooting free throws.
Bauman back out. Motts for 3, and it spins away. And a scramble for the rebound, a jump ball. Alternating possession goes to Maple Grove.
And so I said earlier, how's Maple Grove going to respond to a run? And so, you know, last possession was good. They got to the free throw line and got 2. This is a big possession for them right here. For both teams. 7 minutes to go.
Adams last time had a little trouble with the dribble bringing it up.
Yeah, over dribbling there.
Well, Blewett will be called for the hold as he thought he saw an opportunity to reach in. Buffalo fans grumbling. It didn't seem like a whole lot there, but Adams just made a pair at the line. He'll go right back.
I can't see this thing. Is it double bonus?
Yeah, that was the 10th foul.
Guess I gets 2.
Adams hits the first. One more coming.
And this game has never really had a lot of flow because a ton of fouls have been called. And not that they shouldn't be called, it's just that's the way the game has been. It's been physical, and they've called a lot.
11-point lead now for Maple Grove. Blewett, almost threw it away. Dahl able to retrieve it.
Try to get to his right hand. That's what Dahl likes to do.
Bauman inside it, stripped away, but he was fouled. I think it'll be
going to be on.
Rainey.
If it's on McGinnis, that's going to hurt Maple Grove.
That's Rainey. It's his 3rd, and Bauman will head to the free throw line.
Yeah, you got to dig down. I mean, because Bauman does have that, you know, strength advantage down there, and he was using it right there.
And misfires on the free throw.
I know I've been talking about McGinnis a lot, but I really admire a guy like that who some games doesn't play very much, but is always ready to do his role. And that's what championship teams are made of. Guys that will just come in when needed to do what they need and not complain about it. If he complained about it, he wouldn't get in with Coach Schroeder for one thing, but you can tell he's just that kind of a person, that kind of a teammate, and they're really relying on him today.
10-point game. Adams giving it back to Rainey now.
For Rainey to try to get all the way to the bucket here at some point. They're getting up and pressuring them. Good help side defense though right there.
Adams back out to Rainey. Rainey kind of uses that off arm.
Yeah.
A lot of Buffalo fans have been pointing it out, and I kind of have to agree.
I complained about that constantly when we went against him, but he just almost does it, and he rarely gets called on it.
6 minutes to play. Williams picks up the dribble in a little trouble, and a timeout granted to Maple Grove as Coach Schroeder realized he was in trouble here. So Crimson used the timeout to keep possession here, up by 10.
I'd like to see Maple Grove go to a little bit different offense than that 3-out kind of weave. It's kind of bringing some guys close together. And, you know, when it works good kind of earlier in the game, but I think towards the end of the game, if you're not spread out more, you can double team it easily and knock the ball off someone's legs. And I think they need to get maybe a 4-out thing going where they got more spacing. We'll see what they do. But hey, Coach Schroeder beat teams I coached 6 straight times, so who am I to tell him? But I'm just thinking that he might make that adjustment. Yeah, the Bison are basketball craze. There's no doubt about that. It's a big part of their culture and their community. And Maple Grove, of course, has been really good in basketball for a long time as well. I think Maple Grove's best finish one year they got second in the state.
Yep. Lost to Tartan, Jake Sullivan.
And Ron was their coach. I can't remember his last
Ron Zopke.
name. Ron
Yeah.
Zopke. I
Saw
saw him
him
before the
last
game.
night, yeah.
He's here tonight too. So yeah, that was a good Maple Grove team. I remember that. See what they do here. So they are going. They're going to their stall actually. They have a organized stall here that they're doing, which they will break down and try to attack out of it. But it as you see, it is more of a 4-out, kind of with a high post.
Rainey electing not to take that gamble and try to throw it to the baseline. Adams in a little bit of trouble, but he got it away. And McGinnis was fouled by Blewett. That'll be his 4th. Not a bad foul to take there. I know he wasn't trying to, but I think this is...
Yeah, I put McGinnis at the line. He hasn't shot any. And I give McGinnis credit for holding on to that ball. You know, he's a real thin guy, and when you catch a ball like that and the guys are aggressive, it looked like they're going to knock it out of his hands maybe. It was a nice trap that they got on the sideline there.
Free throw perfect for McGinnis.
Ice water in his veins. He's got beautiful touch and he gets good backspin on the ball. The game I saw him play against Armstrong, he made 2 threes, so he definitely can. He's got shooting skills.
And perfect on those 2. McGinnis stretches the lead back to a dozen now, and so Buffalo can't really afford to be trading, free throws or baskets back and forth anymore. They're down 12.
Those are huge free throws.
Motts for 3 from the corner, won't go. Blewett rebounds, and he'll bring it back out.
I thought Blewett maybe could have went back up there because Maple Grove doesn't want to foul, especially Jared Rainey doesn't want to get his 4th. But he's a little guy, and he was smart and brought it back out.
Motts, another 3-point attempt, no good, and McGinnis boards it for Maple Grove. So Buffalo maybe getting a little impatient. You can tell they want to hit that really big 3 and get the crowd going, but taking a couple of real long ones there that wouldn't fall. Williams driving it, dishes off, layup missed. And Dahl coming out of there with it for Buffalo.
I like that kind of activity. They'll go into the bucket, staying aggressive. You can't just stall the whole game.
There's Motts knocking it down from the corner. He missed a couple, but he wasn't worried. He puts it in, and Buffalo uses the timeout as the lead is back to 9 now, 4:26 to go. And remember, Dahl has 4 fouls. The last 2 of them were charges, but able to just get that ball out of there, and Motts was going to keep on firing.
Yeah, it's his 3rd 3 in a row, and he missed the first 2. They could have probably taken a charge on him if they were ready, because he didn't come to a jump stop or anything. He was flying down through there. But it was a nice pass by Dahl, good awareness. He knew where to get the ball. Yeah, give Buffalo credit. This game looked like it was get out of control and be a 20-point or more blowout, and they definitely didn't let that happen. And the way that they can shoot the ball and the momentum they can generate in a game with their crowd and the way they play, this game is definitely not safe for Maple Grove, especially if Maple Grove misses some free throws down the stretch, which is easy for kids to do.
Yeah, they've been pretty good, though, at the line here in the second half, hitting 9 out of 11. So they have answered the bell, and I think Maple Grove deserves some credit, too, because Buffalo got the lead below 10 with quite a bit of time to go. And
7 points, yeah.
Maple Grove was able to kind of weather that storm a little bit and keep the lead. I mean, it hasn't been easy or smooth at all times by any means, but still at a 9-point lead here with 4:26 remaining.
Yeah, they're definitely a mentally tough team, Maple Grove. They've been in a lot of close games in the Northwest Suburban. They've been really tested.
I'm not entirely sure what we're checking. There's something to check with the score table. Might be about how many timeouts people have remaining, I think. So Rainey will work his way up court here for Maple Grove. Burkholt's in defending him now. Eisen looked to spring that trap. Nice pass underneath, and the layup missed.
Big rebound.
Another offensive board, though, as Williams came out of there with it.
And McGinnis just not quite strong enough to finish there. Or is that not McGinnis? That's, no. That's
Betcher.
Betcher, yeah.
And Rainey will be called for the travel. And Dahl and Willert quickly sent to the score table to check back in. Kind of an offense-defense substitutions going now for Buffalo.
And same for Maple Grove, where McGinnis comes in to guard the big man.
Key possession here, it feels like. If Buffalo can, hit a 3 or even a 2, they're kind of back on their heels. But if not, Maple Grove, the more and more
Time's
time
running
ticks
out.
away. Yeah. Bauman across court. Motts stepping inside, blocked but fouled. Betcher had him lined up pretty well, but came down with the arm a little bit, and he'll pick up his 4th. Motts kind of held the ball, hung in the air a little bit there, and helped to draw that one.
Yeah, I think he knew that he was kind of stuck, and he just tried to draw the foul. Smart
Free
play.
throw good.
Yeah, he's a heady player, there's no doubt.
Dreyer will come back in, McGinnis out. As we said, offense for defense substitution. Another ball handler in there.
Several players with 4 fouls out there, I believe. So
yeah.
That could have something to do with how this game ends too, whoever falls out.
Motts making a pair. 7-point lead now, 63-56.
They're in a zone trap. You got to keep that ball off the sideline. That's where they like to trap it. There, you get that ball in the middle. I like that. Putting Jared Rainey in the middle is a smart play.
And a little trouble here for Williams. Timeout, Maple Grove. I don't think they wanted to use that one in that spot, but they were about to turn it over.
Yeah, he didn't want to burn his timeout, but I mean, very alert play by Coach Schroeder.
Yeah, it was very near to a 5-second count there. I'll give Williams some credit for not panicking and throwing it away, though. I mean, a 5-second call is better than handing it over
a live ball turnover,
for a
no
turnover
doubt.
to go in the other way.
Yeah, you try to teach kids that, but a lot of them panic, and a lot of them in that situation would jump up in the air, throw the ball, get it deflected, and it's going the other way, and the crowd's going crazy. So yeah, really a lot of poise there. That was smart play by Williams. And then that allowed Coach Schroeder to call the timeout as well.
Maple Grove students pumped up about this one. Their girls team made the state tournament this year, and they lost their first round game to Centennial. Did win in the consolation bracket, though, here Thursday morning, so they'll play for the consolation title Friday over at Concordia. Adams inbounding here for Maple Grove. Their lead is at 7. They have led pretty much throughout the game and led big for a while. To the corner, and Rainey will have an easy 2.
And again, that's not Buffalo style to get out there and trap, and they didn't really stay connected, and they gave up a layup. You can't give up a layup in that situation.
65-56. Bauman missing inside, and then a foul committed by the Crimson.
I thought Bauman traveled on that move too. He took the gather dribble and then he moved both feet, but they didn't call it, but they got a foul call.
Rainey will pick up his 4th. Bauman's free throw is good.
I thought they called the foul on Bauman going for the rebound there. So you see Buffalo, only one guy on the line. They're trying to set up the diamond press probably. And you don't see diamond presses after about 8th grade, but they can be effective because you never see them.
Bauman's second free throw good as well, so they are back to within 7. 2:57 remaining as Maple Grove inbounds to the backcourt. Oh, Betcher, they were trying to draw the foul, and then the foul committed by Burkholtz. Burkholtz thought that Betcher ran him over there, and they don't get the call.
Buffalo's got so many fans, they have them over on the Maple Grove side too. They couldn't fit on one side. And then Maple Grove's got a lot of fans here too. This place is packed. Yeah, I thought there could have been a foul there maybe on Rainey trying to get open. Maybe a little bit of a flop action too. The refs didn't want to call that, I think.
So Rainey to the line and perfect with that one.
Maple Grove's done a good job for the most part of making their free throws here down the stretch. If they wouldn't, this game would be probably a 4-point game.
Rainey calmly knocks down a pair.
Those are big. Good poise right there. Those are not easy to make.
Lead is back to 9. Dahl will whip it around. Motts shooting up a 3, no good. And Rainey first to the rebound.
Rainey's a strong rebounder too.
In some trouble on the baseline. Rainey, though, will get it out of there. And now Buffalo has to chase.
I thought they could have had a layup there, but they chose to get a layup here.
McGinnis over to Betcher for 2, and that one might go a long way towards sealing it. Here's Blewett, missing inside. Rebound grabbed away by Adams.
And Willard just hasn't seemed to get a lot of shots and a lot of looks. And you can credit Maple Grove's defense with that too.
And Dreyer is fouled as he spun to the baseline. I think it'll be Bauman picking it up.
Some fans heading to the exits already. I wouldn't do that if I were a fan. I think with 2 minutes left, anything can happen.
Dreyer's free throw is good. And he makes a pair. Boy, if you're looking at keys to why they won this game tonight, if they win, Maple Grove, free throws definitely a big part of it. Willard driving and gets the finger roll to go with the left hand.
There's still enough time though. I mean, 11 points. You got to get some turnovers, and you got to probably have Maple Grove miss a few free throws.
Kind of surprised they're not really just fouling immediately here. I don't think you can be too picky about who you go after right now.
Yeah, I think maybe you try for one hard trap and then you foul.
Bauman fouls Rainey. Be his 4th, and Rainey back to the free throw line. See, Maple Grove hasn't shot quite as many as Buffalo, but been more efficient.
Yeah, 16 for 18, 17 for 19 now. That's incredible shooting for any level.
And especially when they made some of them when Buffalo was making that run too. I mean, those are tough ones. Well, and of course, then he misses right there. But still, overall, they've done great.
17 for 20. My Robbinsdale math says that's 85%.
Bauman will shoot up a 3. It doesn't go. And then a foul as Rainey came down across the arm, and that's going to be his 5th, if it is in fact on Jared Rainey. So that does not help Maple Grove's cause. However, they may have built enough of a lead for him not to matter.
Yeah, I know Coach Schroeder is still sweating bullets over there because his leader, his point guard, the guy who brings them a lot of calmness, is out of the game. But to Maple Grove's credit, they played very much as a team. They have all year. They weren't very heralded to start the season. No one was really talking about Maple Grove. And here they are again with a 20-win season in the Northwest Suburban. And looks like that they got a good chance here to go to state tournament, although it still is not over.
Second free throw also drops for Blewett. So the lead is 10, and again, Rainey, primary ball handler, is just fouled out. And now the foul committed.
See, in that situation without Rainey in, I think I wouldn't have fouled right away. I would have tried to get a trap and see if they could get the ball up and get a steal. And if you're fouling, they make them, you lose. You get a steal, it's a lot different. You know, maybe take 6 seconds off the clock. But
Dreyer to the free throw line. And misses.
I know this isn't live, but in Chicago, big win for the Minnesota Gophers. They won 77-72 in overtime. So they're going to go to the NCAA tournament, it looks like. Former Maple Grove player Brad Davison will be in the NCAA tournament.
Second free throw good for Dreyer. Crimson by 11. Willard shooting a 3. It's in and out. Adams the board.
That's a good no call. He kicked his legs out trying to get that foul.
Willard with the steal now. And no good on the jumper. And then we get a foul on Dahl, and he'll be out with that 5th foul. He'll foul out with 13 points.
Well, he's only a junior, and you know, if they don't come back and win this game, this Buffalo team, there's a good chance they're going to be back in this situation next year. You know, they'll be thinking that's their year where they have to do it.
Yeah, 4 juniors and a freshman in their starting lineup. So you have to think they'll be every bit as good and probably better next year. Adams' free throw is good.
And Nate Adams is a guy that, you know, he doesn't get a lot of press. You know, he doesn't play a lot of AAU and stuff. And I've seen him play a lot because I coached against him. He's one of the better players around the metro area. He can do it all. He shoot, rebound, play defense.
Makes a pair of clutch free throws there. The lead is 13. Willard to miss. Adams up for the board. And was fouled. So now I think the fans would be justified in heading for the exit, right?
As a head coach, you never think that.
No, I know, you can't.
But yeah, I would think that's probably the case. You got the director listens to you sometimes. All the time.
Adams to shoot. Oh, we haven't peeked outside in a while. We're hoping we're not seeing some of that white flakes falling as it's been raining all day and possibly changing to snow this evening was kind of the word.
And 35-mile-an-hour winds with it.
Adams sinks a pair, and Maple Grove is going to go back to the state tournament. They're up by 15.
4th year in a row. That's quite an accomplishment.
Floater won't drop. Bauman grabs the rebound, gets the quick putback, and then a timeout taken here by Buffalo.
Now, I don't know if Maple Grove can get a seed or not. They seed the top 5, maybe the 5th.
Yeah, I think, well, unless there's some upsets, I think that would be the best they could hope for. But
so if you get the, 6, 7, or 8, they're not even seeded. They're just drawn out of a hat, and so most likely you're going to play either, like we talked about earlier, if Park Center doesn't get upset, or Hopkins. I think Lakeville North, if they can beat John Marshall. But that'll be interesting. That's being played tonight. And John Marshall, with Matthew Hurt, one of the best players ever to play in our state. One time we held him in a game at Armstrong to 51 points. That guy can play. But Lakeville, they put a lot of muscle on him. They're playing tonight, and maybe Matthew Hurt's team will pull the upset over Lakeville North. It'll be Lakeville North's 8th straight appearance if that occurs. I know Maple Grove played him in the first round 2 years ago, I believe. But just getting the state, what a great feeling. Doesn't happen that often for most coaches. And if you ever make it there, you feel fortunate. It's a great experience for the players. So hats off to Maple Grove. We like to go deep in this situation a lot of times.
Adams working his way up the sideline, and then he'll cut it across.
Looks like they're not going to play the foul game. They're just going to try to trap. Maple Grove will probably just be content to obviously let the clock run out. Great season for Maple Grove and for Buffalo. I mean, Buffalo had a heck of a year with a young team. Went over 20 games again. They got Buffalo basketball back where they want it. Coach Ortman's done a great job. But Coach Schroeder, one of the best coaches in the state. I said that from the time he came in as a young guy. And he loves basketball, and he's built a heck of a program here.
Maple Grove can celebrate another section championship as the Crimson, a great first half, and they hold off a push from Buffalo and pull away again at the end to win it 77-64. Really, it talks about how the entire game matters, Greg. They did such a great job building that lead, and then they did the right things to be able to hold them off. You knew there was going to be a push coming for Buffalo, and there was.
Yeah, they did a good job of clock management. They didn't take many early shots. A couple times they did when I thought that zone that Buffalo played kind of baited them into taking a few early ones, but then they went back to man, and that's when Maple Grove was really good. They just spread the floor and made them come out and foul them, and they made their free throws. If they don't make their free throws, it's a different story. This game, anything could have happened then, but they're clutch players, and they made them. Two great programs, faced each other in the past, and it was a good ball game. I'm glad Buffalo came back and made this a game, so it was more exciting for everybody and showed what Buffalo's made of. And Maple Grove, what can you say? These guys have been to state now 4 years in a row. The kids, if you're a freshman, if you're a senior, you've been to state every year of your high school career. That's pretty awesome to say. You know, Northwest Suburban guaranteed to have 2 teams in the state now.
That's right, Park Center, Champlin Park. Watch for that one on CCX. Being played Friday night, and tape delayed coverage of that one later on Friday night as they'll play over at Rogers. So Maple Grove.
I have a question about Ryan Iverson. Is he the play-by-play man or the color man? No comment. Come on, Iverson. I know you can take a joke.
So Buffalo getting their second place medals here. Is
big thing to me here is wear your medal. You see teams not put it on. I mean, second place in the section is a good achievement. And I love that the Buffalo kids are doing that. You know, they're class act. Goes back to Coach Gaida. He was a class act, and Coach Ortman played for him, and he's the same way. Yeah, both of these teams, there's a lot of good sportsmanship.
Yeah, respect between each other. I mean, you play hard, and maybe at every moment you don't like each other that well, but you know at the end that you're facing a good quality opponent, and it's going to be tough to get through, and makes that accomplishment that much better when you know you beat a pretty good team.
Definitely. Yeah, if you ever beat a team coached by either one of these guys, you feel good about it because you know that the other team was well prepared, and you had to do your best to beat them.
Well, all 5 starters in double figures tonight for the Bison as well, and for Maple Grove, they had 4 guys in double figures, so it kind of shows that not one man shows for either of these teams either.
Yeah, and I'll say it one more time. Ryan McGinnis, in my book, probably the X Factor MVP coming in, because when he was in the game, it was tough for Bauman to score. He didn't score a lot, but just his presence in there allowed the other guys to be more aggressive on defense, and he got some big rebounds as well. You can tell I'm a coach because I love the role player guys. Those guys are the guys that make the winning plays a lot of times that they go unnoticed, but Coach Schroeder knows how valuable he is.
Yeah, it's easy to get caught up in just 2 leads the team in scoring on a night-by-night basis for anybody, for the fans, for the media, whatever. But certainly a lot of different things go into winning a game and winning a section championship, certainly.
Yeah, I mean, avoiding injury is one of those things. Maybe getting a lucky bounce every once in a while.
Number 4, Jared Reed.
Ricardo Jones, the athletic director, out there congratulating the Crimson players along with their principal as well.
I've been
Dr.
able to experience that feeling 3 times in 35 years, so I know how rare it is, and it feels really good. And when you're a player, you only get 1 shot if you're a senior, and that's the only year you play. So the pressure's on to try to make the state, so it feels really good when you get there.
Number 21, Lavelle Williams. Number 22, Tyler Gordon.
And even when you've made, a few appearances in a row, you never can take that for granted that it's going to happen again. I think maybe in particular in basketball, as much as any of the high school sports, there's so many variables in terms of who shoots the ball well on a given night and things like that, that you don't necessarily see, even the power programs getting there every year.
And part of it depends on the section you're in as well. And, you can get, every 2 years they switch the sections. I mean, you can get switched to a section that's loaded, or you can also have transfers come into another team. And all of a sudden this team was just okay. Now they got 2 AAU guys who decided to move in. I've seen that happen. And, Maple Grove's, they got their homegrown talent. I like that about it too. Coach Schroeder works with these guys in the summer a lot. I went and visited them this summer and watched them practice. And they're getting up early in the morning. I've seen Osseo do that as well early in the morning.
I would like to have the captains and the entire team of the 2019
So the medals are awesome, but the trophy itself that they all share in is even better yet here for both these teams, starting with Buffalo. They get that second place trophy, and obviously it's not the one that they were hoping for, but Maple Grove Well, we'll get that section championship trophy.
And it goes in your trophy case for as long as your school's there, you know. You get to go back when you're an old man and you can look at it and see when you used to have hair and your picture's in there.
So the Crimson prevailing again for the 4th straight year. They will mix it up with their student fans right there as Maple Grove wins it 77-64. We will come back and hear from the Crimson in just a moment here. Great ball game here on CCX tonight.
Let me tell you about the toughest guy on earth. He has the crazy strength to lift the man that raised him up without even flinching. This guy, no, this warrior, will always be by his father's side, even if his dad will hardly remember. If this guy isn't the toughest guy on the planet, then I don't know who is. Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
Okay, Dad. 1, 2, 3. You saved me. Dad?
Are you okay?
I'm fine, dear.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
It's back to the state tournament for the Maple Grove Crimson as they beat Buffalo for a 2nd straight year in the Section 8 final, 77-64. A couple of seniors who had great games tonight and great seasons. Starting with Nate Adams, you know, it was a rematch from last year, but how much fun was tonight to come out and play that great first half and then hold them off like that?
Oh, it was a blast. Play here with my teammates and just to have fun. It was, it's hard to describe.
I thought your team in the first half was probably one of your better halves offensively, and you know, what was really working to lead to that great shooting performance for your club?
Well, shooting, we work every day on shooting, whether it's our Tommy or our 2-man, but really it was defense. Our defense is our game plan every game, and that's what we got and gave us a victory, I guess.
You guys, you knew Buffalo would probably make a little bit of a run, and they cut it to under 10 there, but did you guys stay pretty calm and confident at that point too?
Yeah, I think that's the goal. Every time a team's trying to make a run on you when you have the lead, you just got to stay calm, make your free throws, and rebound. That's all you got to do to win the game.
Yeah, free throws was a huge key for your team tonight. Did you feel confident when all of your guys went up there? Because that, I think, in a lot of ways was one of the differences in this game.
Yeah, so I have confidence in every single one of my teammates to make the free throw at the end of the game.
You got to experience the state tournament last year, but now as a senior, is it even more special?
Yeah, it is special. Just last year going out with a bang, pretty excited.
All right, congratulations. Have fun in the tournament. And Jared Rainey fouling out in this game. There are a lot of fouls in the game, but boy, you played such a great game tonight. You know, talk about this win and what it means for you and for the program.
It's just a great win. You know, going into the season, we set a goal, and we're taking one day at a time, one step at a time to achieve that goal.
You guys, a lot of you had a chance to play in the section final last year. How much did that help to have been through those pressure games and when the crowd gets loud and they're making a little bit of a comeback, you know, just to have that experience to rely on?
Like you said, it's just experience. You know, we're used to it. We knew what to expect going into the game. They're going to bring the whole city out, try to taunt us or whatever, but we kept our composure, we stayed calm, and we were able to get a win.
4 straight times in the tournament for Maple Grove. What does that mean as far as this program? You know, what does it say about your whole basketball program?
It means, you know, overall we're just a good program. You know, we work hard every day, we practice every day, and we just push each other to get better each and every day.
A lot of good teams going to be in the state tournament, obviously, and you're one of them. What do you feel like about your chances heading in now?
We feel good. You know, we just got, like I said, keep moving one step at a time, one day at a time, and I think we should be fine.
All right, Jared, I think they're saving a piece of the net for you down there. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right, Jared Rainey, 23 points tonight in the victory for Maple Grove as the Crimson, as we said, headed back to state for a 4th straight year as they beat a good Buffalo team here in this Section 8 championship. Final here tonight is 77-64 Crimson as they advance to the 4A tournament. A reminder to watch for the Park Center Champlain Park Section 5 final as well on Friday night, as another Northwest Suburban team guaranteed to be in the tournament. Hope you've enjoyed tonight's game. For Greg Miller and all of our crew, I'm Jay Wilcox. Good night from St. Michael, Albertville.